Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Swotek reporting from our studio, and the Sports Sticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, a new exception was made today for the upcoming football game this Saturday against Houston Christian. Due to the higher temperatures expected for the weekend, fans will be allowed to bring one sealed bottle of water into Memorial Stadium. Additionally, as always, fans are allowed to bring in a personal empty water bottle to be filled inside the stadium at one of the water fountains. Pivoting to Husker men's basketball, tip-off time has been set for the matchup between Nebraska and BYU on Saturday, October 18th. The home game at Pinnacle Bank Arena is set to start with a noon tip-off. Game coverage will be on Big Ten Plus and right here on the HRN. And finally, some MLB scores from across the country. The Pittsburgh Pirates sailed on over to Baltimore to face off against the Orioles, but the Orioles used their home field advantage and got the slight win 3-2 earlier today. And some current action, the Miami Marlins are hosting the Washington Nationals. It's the bottom of the second, and Miami has the quick lead 2-0. And finally, the first pitch is going to start anytime now because the Detroit Tigers are heading on over to the New York Yankees for a 6:05 first pitch. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Coming up next is the first hour of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ball at the Akron 47, right to left in a scoreless game. Raiola under center, single back as Johnson takes a snap, turn right hand off, Johnson up the middle, burst to the second level. There he goes, 35-30, near left numbers 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in, touchdown, Huskers, 47 yards. Third down and 9 at the 3-yard line. Akron in the shadows of their own goal line. Full house pistol. Finley claps for the snap, takes, hand off, and that's a safety. Jordan Gant is swung down by Cade Petshaw. Indeed, welcome to college football, young man. Gets the safety, 9-0 Huskers.
There's Laney, here come Huskers. We can attack Mania Obeche. She's putting on a clinic. It's Mania Obeche, Friday night at the Devaney, 23-14.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome in to Sports Nightly, our final show of the week, because we got Husker Volleyball coming up once again tomorrow night. Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. How's the week been? I feel like this week has flown by.
It's gone by really quick. And again, I might, because I feel like doing a show tomorrow, because I can't be away from the microphone. I'm just going to do my own show in private into my cell phone. Oh,
around the time you're emceeing a banquet?
Yes, I might stand outside.
Just live stream the banquet, or when you're tossing to videos, just do updates, live updates.
Always on, always be working.
No, it's been a busy week, but sometimes I feel like when you get to football season, it's like Monday and Tuesday could just crawl by, but this week is it's gotten us back to game week or game day pretty quickly.
I don't know if you're the same way, but I feel like I'm always behind. And even if I'm not, I always feel like I'm behind in something because, and you definitely, me, get pulled in so many different directions in a football week, whether it's interviews or other things, which is all good. It's all part of it. But I always feel like I'm like stuck in quicksand, and then the game gets here super quick.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's like our busy days are different. So like yesterday I did 7 interviews.
Yeah.
And today I was not as busy, so I was able to kind of breathe a little bit, which is nice.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to get right back to it. Enough of talking, I guess, about Akron, and let's go out there and do it again.
So coming up here this hour, we've got a busy 2 hours for you. We're going to have our picks. How'd you do last week?
Not bad. Better than I thought.
Yeah.
Made some picks that I regret, but I think I'm going to be saying that every single week.
Yeah.
But I'm in a good spot right now. I'll tell you who's not in a good spot right now. It's Jeremiah Searles.
Oh, he's not? He's
struggling.
Not that far behind?
Yeah, he's struggling.
Oh, okay.
And you know what I feel bad for?
You guys have some trash talking going along going around.
I just hope that I don't have to meet Jeremiah. Well, I wish I have met him in person, but see him in person because I would not do that to his face. He's a very large man, and I am not.
He is a large guy. He looks like he can still play.
He could block me through these panes of glass into the hallway. So I do it all over like this video technology, but I'll never do it to his face.
So again, that's coming up in hour number 2. Our college football picks for the week. We'll recap how last week went for all of us, and then make our picks this week. So, and as always, the guys on the chat play along. So we'll pass along how they did as well last week. So we're also going to have our Big Ten Blitz. We're going to hear from Kristen Brown coming up this hour. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but big news for her. She's going to be on the NCAA Women's Basketball Selection Committee, and it's always good when you have representation in some of those meetings or some of those important meeting rooms. Yeah, and continuing up and coming administrator and Kristen Brown. So congratulations to her. We mentioned when we talked about it, Troy has representation on the College Football Playoff Committee. Now Kristen has the representation on that committee as well. So congratulations to her. It's a huge thing in her career. She's obviously very passionate what she does. So congratulations to her. That's really cool. Matt Rule also met with the media today, his final meeting with the media before kickoff. So we'll have a few clips with him coming up here in just a few minutes. But, you know, it's going to be hot, and David had this in the ticker, but they're going to make some adjustments so that people can make sure that they stay hydrated coming up on Saturday. Yeah, so you're allowed going into Memorial Stadium to have one sealed bottle of water. So that's a change. It might be, I would assume, probably over 90 degrees at Memorial Stadium. So it's going to be a hot one at the stadium. So if you are inclined to bring a sealed bottle of water, you will be allowed. Also, as always, you're allowed an empty bottle too, so to bring into the stadium. So you have those options to fill it up at the stations they have. Yeah, different stations around that you can bring in and fill up. So a sealed water bottle is allowed. You know, I didn't actually do this report when we were in Kansas City because when warm-up started, it was pretty warm out there. But I talked to Kristen Coggin, who we all know is a superstar. We heard Coach Rule say that she'd trust her with his life. That's how good she is. That, you know, she is the best of the best in the college football game. But I had chatted with her prior to kickoff at Arrowhead, and you know, it was, I think, a little bit warmer than they anticipated. And she had gone on a run and was just making sure that she had told guys. But you could tell just she's not worried at all about the guys being ready to go. That because if you haven't hydrated before game day, you're in trouble. But you could just tell, and I think, again, going back to the conversations with year 3, you know, if I would have asked her about that year 1 or even last year, it would have been, I think, maybe a different response when I was asking her about it. But you could tell that she knew that, like, these guys were aware of the situation and taking care of themselves and were ready to go. So I expect it'll be the same thing tomorrow. Yeah, she's the attention to detail through the roof. I had the chance to talk to Corey Campbell, and you know, a lot of strength and conditioning, sports science, sports nutrition. They're all in line as to how they want this thing to run. And, you know, you can't get away with not being hydrated, not just on a game day within the football program, but any day of the week. I'm pretty sure they test these guys almost every single day to make sure that they're staying hydrated or have the right amount of fluids in their body. So they'll be ready to go. They're used to, I mean, they practiced in fall camp heat. It gets, you know, doesn't get as hot as some other places, but it gets pretty hot here in the summer, and you sort of practice, and it leads itself up to, say, a day like Saturday where it might be 90 degrees. There are sometimes, though, that it takes, like, I just think the buy-in and everything that's being done, and I mean, Kristen gets brought up all the time by players, that the job that she's done, but, you know, for her to implement what she wants to do and the importance of kind of the things that she does, it, you know, even that was a process for guys to buy into that. But now that they have, it's like, you know, that she feels good about, hey, they know what they're doing. I don't have to tell them multiple times. I don't have to continue to, hey, are you, you know, make sure and remind a lot of those kinds of reminders that are required. She doesn't have to do a lot of those anymore, I don't think. Yeah, I'm sure the players help in that too. The leadership on the team, that if they're not necessarily following those guidelines from Kristen, that the players also help her in that regard to make sure that everybody's following that standard.
When Coach Rule says the standard is the standard, it's more than just what you see between the white lines, right? It's nutrition, it's strength, it's doing every single aspect of what it takes to win. And that's where you've seen in these first two games sort of the fruits of the labor, especially in Game 2. To see where this program's trending, a lot of that has to do with everything that you're seeing that might be behind the scenes.
What is that dinging?
I don't know, and it's
driving me crazy.
I thought we were just going to pretend like we weren't hearing something ding every 10 seconds.
I am like, I've got everything turned off. Like, I've got my phone, my laptop, and I don't know what is dinging. Are we getting text messages?
Is it this
only one?
computer?
So I've been checking that. That's what I thought it might have been, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if they can hear it on the air.
Ping.
Like, it's driving me bonkers. It's like,
I could see you with each.
See? There it is again. What is that?
I could see Jess's face through each ping just slowly turn to about, okay, yeah, she's going to bring this up.
What is this? Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. So stop, but don't add to it. Don't add to my nerves. No, I went out to practice today because mentioned last week that one of the new things that you had suggested to bring in was the chatting with one of the assistant coaches closer to game day that we hear on Countdown to Kickoff. So this week I chatted with Addison Williams, and practice was set to end at 11:30, which it did, but they do this where they stay on a little bit later and work with some of the younger players. And two things that, I took away from that. I mean, we've heard that about just, the extra reps, and Coach Rules talked about that after last week's performance against Akron, how some of those younger players came in ready to go. And a lot of that was because of how they've prepared throughout, that they've had the opportunity to have these reps in practice, that they're going to practice them. They're going to get those opportunities. But then also, so some of those older guys that could have left, that, hey, they could have very easily, hey, it's time to go to the training table. I need to get in the cold tub, whatever it might be. Like Sierra Wright, Malcolm Hartzog, they were out there coaching up those young guys when they got an extra time to scrimmage. There's those two big things of how hard the coaches were coaching those guys and making sure that, again, you talk about that standard. The standard was being held to these players when they got those opportunities to kind of do that extra work. But then the fact that those older guys stayed on to stay back and watch and coach up and kind of be the cheerleaders on the sideline for those younger guys.
Yeah, I mean, once those guys leave and they're playing on Sundays for most of them, you know how much pride players take in their program. They know that they're going to play a role, and what they're doing now for the future of this program is how they build that foundation is by how they help lead a Jeremiah Charles, a Amari Sanders, a Donovan Jones, who's already a starter, Caleb Benning. There's so many young guys in that secondary that are going to play this year, right? But are going to play even more prominent roles in the next couple of years, because you think of how many people they're going to lose probably in that secondary next year. It's going to be a little bit of a different group. So the fact that they foresee maybe what this roster might look like next year and try to help along those guys, that goes back to this program being more player-led than it's ever been in quite some time.
Got to think, hopefully, again, that this will be an opportunity to get those guys out there again on Saturday.
Yeah, I would say so. I would imagine that you'll see, I think there were, like 40 guys that made tackles the other day for Nebraska. It means that it will go well, and do we have another shutout in store? Who knows? But I would assume all those guys, and they know that. The younger guys know that this might be their last chance this year to audition for a real big role come Big Ten play. So those guys are going to be practicing and playing hard.
Bex is a proud partner of this year's Ag Day versus Houston Christian. Bex is dedicated to serving a community of farmers who love what they do and are proud to be farmers at heart. We're going to step aside for a break. I'm going to try to fix this ding that we're hearing every 30 seconds, it seems like. I'm going to try to get that taken care of. But when we come back, we're going to hear some clips from the head coach, Matt Rule, coming up right after this.
Husker fans, during this week's football game, we are recognizing the agricultural community in our great state with Akrs Ag Day celebration. Farmers and ranchers have helped build the culture of this state through hard work, grit, and toughness. Nebraska Athletics is proud of our agricultural heritage and strive to live out these same values every day. We would like to recognize and thank our partners supporting Akrs Ag Day: Beck's Hybrids, Pioneer, Central Valley Ag, Calcium Products, Nebraska Farm Bureau Financial Services, and High Street. Go Big Red. ahead.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. T&L Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, T&L Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and T&L Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at Woodhouse. We carry a wide selection of trusted brands across more than 20 locations, offering everything from efficient daily drivers to bold new EVs and family-ready SUVs. At Woodhouse, we put your experience first, offering expert guidance and a trusted team that's guaranteed to help you find the right vehicle. Visit a location near you or start shopping online at woodhouse.com. More ways to drive, more reasons to trust. This is Woodhouse.
Defend your network like a champ with Hamilton Business Technologies. From end zones to endpoints, our cybersecurity solutions keep your business and your data protected from online threats. We offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. You keep doing what you do best, and we will protect the rest. Hamilton Business Technologies, the official business IT partner of the Huskers. Visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. T&L Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, T&L Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and T&L Irrigation are like no other.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by
Akrs.
Midwest Premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. We're going to hear that here coming up in a few minutes. From the big dog, Jeremiah Searles will join us for our picks here coming up on the top of the hour in hour number 2. All right, with Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. Let's hear from the head coach. He had his final meeting with the media here this afternoon, and I think a lot has been made, obviously, of the halftime speech and just what was the challenge that Coach Rule presented to his team during half last week against Akron. And so he was asked just about if the team has shown the kind of attitude that he wants here this week.
Yeah, and not letting up, that's probably an outside thing. Like for us, we're just trying to get better. It's all continue to improve, there's so many things we have to improve. Before every accident, there was a warning. There's all these things on tape. If you just remove the emotion, you're like, gosh, that's not good enough, and that's not good enough, or that's better than I thought. So we're just trying to be very surgical. So this was a week about improving to get ready to play Houston Christian, and improving to improve our football team. And so I felt this week that everything got better, but you never know till Saturday, right? You never know till Saturday, right? It'll be our first day game, which I know that question was asked earlier, and you have to get up and you have to wake up ready to go on morning games. One of the reasons that the video went out of what I said at halftime, which I meant. And one of the reasons I was happy it was out, to be quite honest with you, is because I want that standard set. That's what that's how you're supposed to play. Going back to remember my first year, we beat Louisiana Tech. We were beating them somewhat convincingly, and then there was a rain delay, and we went in for the lightning delay. We went in for the lightning delay, and came back out, and they scored a touchdown. I was just like, man, where is the killer instinct on us? And so. That's not something you just have. Like, you have to be good enough that it matters. Like, you can have all the killer instincts in the world. If you're not very good, then it doesn't matter. But I think we've been building that, and I just was really pleased that they did it last week. But this is a whole new game. I go into every game thinking, hey, let's win this game 17-16. Like, expecting a battle. I know these coaches. These coaches are winners. Like, they're going to do an excellent job. And so I'm expecting us, no matter what the score is, I'm expecting us to play better than we played last week. And if we don't play better than we played last week, we wasted a week. So that sometimes you play better in a loss. Sometimes you beat someone 45-14 and you don't play better. So that's been the whole challenge. I think the week has been an excellent week. No distractions from the guys at practice. They've done a great job, and I've been very pleased. But we'll see what it's like on Saturday. I always make sure I say that. I got to say, there's nothing worse than coaches saying, well, we had a great week. A great week just gives you a chance, and then you got to get yourself ready to play. And then, good teams throw you curveballs. You have to adapt.
Yeah, you could see no matter the opponent. I mean, he's going to have them ready to go. The way at that halftime speech was, it was to see that, and I guess it leaked. I think Will Compton was the first one to tweet it out, and then it was a part of the recap video. But to see the intensity and to see how everybody was locked in from the Huskers, just listening to him talk and sort of give a sermon at halftime up 33-0. It just kind of shows where I think this program is at right now. They're hungry for more. Coach Rule is hungry for more. This is a team that doesn't just want to get to a bowl game anymore, right? Doesn't just want to win 6 or 7 games. It's now time to sort of cash in on a lot of the work that you've done in the first 2 years. And I think Matt Rule senses that he has the team, he has the personnel, he has the coaches, they have the right mindset, they have the right veterans. Everything is in place for them to take that next step. So why not them?
Yeah, and Searles and I talked about that this week on the podcast on Sideline Slice, but, this has been a team that hasn't had that kind of killer mentality. And if you're not going to do it against Akron, you have to do it against Akron so that it carries over in some of these games that are closer, and I think that's where this program hasn't had it. And Coach Rule expects his team to kind of flip that switch and get to where that mindset is that. But it has not been there for the last several years. But, if you're not, you've got to do it against these teams so that it carries over later on when it is closer. And you do have that, like that mentality is the difference of you winning or losing a football game.
If you slack on details in week 2 against Akron or week 3 against Houston Christian, do you think it's gonna get better when you play a better opponent? The answer is no.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you do everything and check everything off the list, because it's only going to get harder from here. The tests and the hills to climb are only going to get steeper. So that's why you saw exactly what you wanted to see against Akron, but now it's about repeating it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to do this for a couple months at a time to find yourselves in position for what the hope is, possibly a college football playoff, but that takes continued development and understanding of what that standard is.
You've done a lot of prep this week, as you always do. I know a lot of people probably going into this thinking, oh, this is going to be exactly what it was last week. And you do expect the Huskers to take care of business, but you maybe expect to see a little bit, I guess, more of a fight out of Houston Christian coming up on Saturday.
I think so. They have a couple of really talented backs, one that's hurt, and Champ Dozier, who didn't play last week, probably won't make the trip. Zyshawn Edwards is somebody who was recruited at a pretty high level that probably at this moment should be an FBS running back. That's not. Darrell Evans is another guy too. So they have two really good running backs, a third that you probably won't see. And then they have some really good pass catchers. It's weird because a lot of their numbers are inflated because they played an NAIA school that essentially was winless last year in Arkansas Baptist. They won that game 69-0, and they put up just incredible numbers. They had a program record, 10 touchdowns. But it's a program that's fairly new. So this is their first year of football wasn't until 2014. So if you get anybody that plays to a high standard or has big numbers, there's a good chance that they're going to leave for FBS. I mean, they lost a lot of players from last year's team, but I think they'll put up a good test. Listen to this. Defensively, they've only given up 1 third down conversion this year. I don't care who you're playing. That's hard to do.
Yeah, and Coach Roll mentioned that. So that's going to be a big test for sure for this offense here this week. Okay, so up next, the next clip we want to play for you from the head coach. He was asked what Dylan is doing pre-snap that might be different compared to last season.
He was doing a lot last year. I think from day one we've done it with him. I just think he's, it's only this will be game 16 for him. I mean, he's still so young in his journey. He's just doing it at such an advanced level. And he can come out and he can say, oh, it's man, I'm going to go to this. It's 2-man, I'm going to go to that. It's so as a play caller, you can give him things and you can call a play, and if it's not the right play, he's going to get you into the better play. No, he's just not picking from whatever. I mean, they've given it to him. But I think he did a lot of it last year. I just think that we've elevated it and we've added more things, and then the team's just a lot better. The offense, the guys, even the guys who were here last year, they're just playing a lot better. We're better up front. We're better at a lot of positions, so he can get the checks, and guys aren't missing them. They're not. We're just another year into it. I think where you see a lot of growth from him is in the flipping of protections too, because as I've said, there's a couple steps to it. First, a lot of guys come out and they play quarterback. So where am I throwing the ball? And they get blitzed in the face, get hit in the face, and they have no idea. And then the next level up is to understand, hey, 2 guys come over here, I'm hot, I've got to get the ball out of my hand. That's where a lot of guys play in college. The next step is, hey, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to check the protection, and I'm going to protect myself. He's at the 4th step, and it happened after Iowa going into Boston College. Iowa did a great job. They kept blitzing the back, keeping the back in, and then he had no relief when the guys weren't open. And he started, after that game, going into Boston College, he was now flipping the protection, even when he knew there wasn't a problem, to the guy he thought was coming so that the back could get out. And so he's way up here right now. Last week, Akron brought a 0 blitz. They came all out, and he kind of drifted to his right away from who he knew was free, and he hit Jacory on a wide depart fade down the left sideline. So, sometimes even as you're watching the game, you might be like, why'd they call that play? It's like a 3rd and whatever. He threw the ball to Wood against Cincinnati, on the 40-yard line, 45-yard line. He saw what the coverage was. He checked to a little screen, threw it to Wood, and hoping he breaks the tackle. Bonner gets tackled, goes to 4th through. That's when I decided to. I can't remember if I went for that one or punted that one, but I guess my point is you can call the play. You can call an aggressive pass play, and if he's going to get overwhelmed with the pressure, he's going to check to something to get you out of it. So I just think it's the same. It's all the same words as last year. There's nothing Dana didn't reinvent the offense. It's all the same things. It's just we try to do what he does well. We try to do what our players do well, and I think he's taking these things to another level in terms of, hey, call the play. I'll get you in the right play if it's not right.
I mean, it's been really fun to watch him play quarterback, and you use that phrase, play quarterback, because it's like when you're a pitcher and not a thrower. The ability to how he can see the field, how he can see things pre-snap, and that goes back to something that you just, like I've said a million times, you don't see often, the ability to start every single game as a true freshman. So this Saturday, Jess, will be his 16th career start as a true sophomore. Jake Weir, who's the starting quarterback for Houston Christian, he's had 5 years in college, didn't play at Mississippi State. This will be his third career start. So you just look at the difference in experience. But last year was everything for him and how much he improved towards the end of the year. And Coach Rule said it in that clip, how good he was at seeing things before they happened in the bowl game against Boston College. He's just a different player.
Yeah, and I think he's really kind of honed in on what it takes to be successful. And so he's going to be the Cornhusker conversation this week. So I had a fascinating conversation. That's what Josh was helping me record it. And he said, sometimes you go a long time in an interview and it's like I can tune out. But like he's so engaging and I want to hear what he has to say. But, I asked him about what resonates with you about those routine plays. Like, why does that resonate? And he said, you come from high school and where you can make any play you want. You can bomb it down the field. You're that much better. But having to realize that just because you have the ability to make some of those wow plays, it doesn't mean it's the best thing to do in order to have for your offense to have success. So realizing sometimes less is more. Mm-hmm. I think what Dylan has really kind of clicked this year and just kind of being able to read things, even if it's not like the huge 50-yard bomb down the field, but like just getting 10 yards or even 7 yards to set up for a second and short as opposed to being on third and long. I think just some of that thought process going from where you are the best of the best in high school, where you can you're so much better than everybody else, to realizing what is success at this level and how can you put together a successful drive that maybe looks different from every single drive, but just understanding that and kind of the power in that, I guess. Yeah, when we said in the preseason, what's that interception number going to look like? That's going to tell you a whole lot about what kind of season the Huskers have. He had 11 last year to 13 touchdowns. He's got 6 so far through 2 games to no interceptions. So far he's in a really good spot. And I think later in the year, a lot of these smaller to intermediate routes might set up the Huskers to be able to take the top off the defense a little bit more. Because it's worked and it's been successful. But I think as the year goes along, and I could be way off on this, that maybe you might see Dylan take some shots down the field because they're going to have the opportunity to get behind defenses with the way they're playing them. So the way that they might set the table for what happens in Big Ten play, you might see some of those big 30-plus yard plays downfield. I think they've just shown so far the ability to do both, which another thing that Searles and I talked about. I mean, I came from the Big 12 and Oklahoma, where they had some of those high flying offenses that it was just who could score the last touchdown, and they weren't, when it came time to maybe managing the clock a little bit more, those offenses were not as good at that. But I think this offense has shown that if they need to take, we saw it against Cincinnati. They had 2 almost 8-minute drives that chewed up a lot of clock, that they can do that. But then they have also shown that they obviously have the capability of scoring quick and getting some big explosive plays from some big time playmakers. And I think, and you're going to have to control the clock, right? Late November, it's 20 degrees outside, you're at Penn State. You're going to have to find a way to run the ball and run it effectively. I think they have the horse there in Emmett Johnson. I think we'll find out more about some of the other 2, even more this week. They have the offensive line, so they have the ability to be electric, to control the clock, at least from what we've seen through the first 2 weeks. So I'll say this phrase for now, maybe it'll change. So far, so good with everything. Pioneer is a proud partner of this year's Ag Day versus Houston Christian. 100 years ago, one seed changed everything. Pioneer is proud to be the one you count on when every bushel counts. Plant the 100th season of Pioneer. Got to step aside for a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Deputy AD and Senior Woman Administrator Kristen Brown. Had a chance to chat with her on a number of different topics, including her recent selection to serve on the NCAA Women's Basketball Committee. So that conversation coming up next here on Sports Nightly.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
This is the commercial for Pioneer Seed Corn.
100 years ago, one seed changed everything. In 1926, Pioneer revolutionized farming with the first commercial production of hybrid corn, the one that started it all, the one that still turns heads, and the one that grows the future. This year, we celebrate a century of innovation, one big milestone made possible by one moment, one farmer, 100 seasons. See how it all began at pioneer.com/100.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
At Woodhouse, we're with you every step of the way. With more than 20 locations and brands, you'll find options that fit your lifestyle. Whether you're looking for your first car, your next SUV, or something built to tow and haul. Enjoy straightforward pricing, helpful guidance, and a dealer experience built around you. Visit one of our convenient locations today or explore your options online at woodhouse.com. Serving our customers for 50 years, this is Woodhouse.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorceed-enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore enlist corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I had a chance yesterday to chat with senior woman administrator and Deputy AD Kristen Brown following the news that she'd be serving on the NCAA Women's Basketball Committee this upcoming season and for the next 5 years through 2030. But she does a lot around here. I mean, I see her everywhere. She's at practice. She's at football practice, and that's not even the sport that she's in charge of. But she makes an effort to go to practices, to be around, to be seen in every sport. She's a sport administrator for both women's basketball and volleyball. So got a great perspective, was able to chat with about a lot of different things with her as a part of this week's Husker Women's Wednesday, which is powered by Emeritus, but wanted to play you a portion of that conversation here tonight. You know, going back to that first year, what have you learned here in this last year?
Yeah, not that it was a surprise, but just the people. The people have been phenomenal. Welcoming me, welcoming my extended family whenever they've come out to visit, people within the department. Everybody has been super helpful, super welcoming. People want to be supportive and want to make sure that you are successful in your role. So people have been phenomenal. And then obviously we see how that translates into support of our teams and our programs. And again, wasn't a surprise, but just seeing the level of passion and support for our student athletes and particularly our women's sports has been really, really awesome to see.
Well, just coming out yesterday, the news that you have been selected to serve on the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee. Tell us about that process, why you were interested in it, and how you ended up being one of the ones selected.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a full circle moment for me, being a basketball student athlete myself. And I think from the time that I knew that the women's basketball or basketball committee was a thing, I wanted to be on it. So here I am, 20 plus years later in the industry, and finally have an opportunity to be on it. But in terms of the process and how, the Big Ten every year solicits nominees from each of its member schools for all of the committee vacancies that the Big Ten is eligible to appoint someone to. And so we had our internal process to kind of figure out who and what would match with the vacancies, and one of those was women's basketball, which I obviously had an interest in. So filled out the application for it, and then the Big Ten has a committee that picks from all the different nominees or potential nominees from the schools. And so I was picked as one of the Big Ten nominees, and then that goes to the NCAA, which has a nominating committee that ultimately selects who gets on each committee.
So, with Troy being on, the college football playoff, and you're on this committee, how important is that? What's the value of that to have representatives in these kinds of rooms?
Yeah, I mean, for us individually, it's certainly a professional goal, but I think it shows just leadership. Nebraska wants to be at the table and be in these positions of leadership, whether that's football, whether that's women's basketball. Our faculty rep, Dr. Fuse, is on one of the academic committees with the NCAA. So I think it just shows that Nebraska is going to have a presence nationally, and we're going to have a seat at the table for all of these important things that are happening in the industry.
You said you wanted to be a part of this. Why? Why was this an interest for you to be on this committee?
Yeah, basketball has been great to me. I've played it since I was a kid. It has opened doors for me all throughout my life. I was, like I mentioned, a basketball student athlete, so got a scholarship to play basketball. Basketball has allowed me to travel across the country and across the world in some instances. And so I feel like I have an obligation to give back to the game. And I can't do that through coaching because that's not my path, but this was my way that I could give back to the game.
How, and in terms of just when you start talking about the postseason, I know the season hasn't even started yet, but the Big Ten Conference and women's basketball, it's in a really healthy state at this point going into the season, right?
Yeah. Big Ten basketball, you could argue, is the best conference in the league, and just the depth from top to bottom is so good, and there's no easy games night in and night out, which is very different from back. So I started my career at the Big Ten office, And I think at that point in time, there are maybe 2 schools in the league that you could say, okay, one of those 2 schools are going to win the conference every year. One of those 2 schools might get to a Final Four. Now there are multiple schools that can win the league. Now there are multiple schools that can get to a Final Four. So just in that, 20-year time span, just to see the growth and the depth of Big Ten women's basketball, it's awesome. It's awesome to see somebody who played the game, but then also somebody who's a part of Big Ten basketball now.
So part of your roles, you're the sport administrator for both volleyball and women's basketball. So since we're talking about basketball, let's start there with Amy Williams. What's it been like working with her and that program?
Yeah, Amy is great. And, I love the fact that she went to school here. She played here. She is passionate about the University of Nebraska. She is passionate about the culture that she builds within her team. I've never had more fun traveling with a team than with women's basketball, just because the culture of that program is so right. Unfortunately, had a couple of injuries last year that kind of dampened the success that I know they were hoping to have, but have a really, really good roster returning and brought in some good transfers and some first-year kids. And so it'll be fun. It will be a really, really good season. You never want to wish time away, but I am anxious to get to hoop season for a lot of reasons now, but for that in particular, because I think they're going to have a special season.
They've been killing it on the recruiting trail, too.
They have, and I don't know, compliance might get mad at me for saying this, but there's one more big fish out there that I know they're hoping to reel in, but a really, really good recruiting class, some kids that I know that they put a lot of time in over the years, not just the last couple of years, but a lot of kids that they put a lot of time in. And really, really excited for that class to get here. Obviously, a lot needs to happen between now and then, but no, the future is certainly bright for women's basketball.
So you were working with volleyball. You're a part of the secretive things going on behind the scenes from John Cook to Danny Busman and Kelly. But what has it been like working with Danny? What have you learned from her? What makes her such an elite volleyball coach?
Yeah, she's awesome. And again, similar to Amy, somebody who played here, knows what it's like to bleed scarlet and cream. She's had success as a player, as an assistant, as a head coach. I think Troy said it in some of his remarks that even if she didn't play here, she was the right choice for all of the things that she's done from a coaching standpoint. But she is competitive as they get. She's as transparent, I think, as they get. I think she has a way of connecting with the student athletes in a way that you want your head coach to be able to connect with the student athletes. And she gets the most out of them. And I think I said this in my remarks about her. You could tell in the way that Louisville, her student athletes there, played for her. And you could just tell the relationship that she had with them because of the way that they played for her. And you can see that now. I think we've all seen, the team is 6-0 right now and ranked number 1 in the country. But you see that the joy in which they play, the effort in which they play, I think you can attribute that all back to Danny and just the relationships that she's built with them and how she gets the most out of them.
So Danny, Amy, Heather Brink, Rhonda Ravel. How special is that? The 4 women that lead those programs are all former student athletes here.
It's awesome. I try to think back across my career, whether it's schools that I've worked at or other schools that I have some familiarity of. And I don't know if there's another school in the country that can say that they have 4 female head coaches who were also former student athletes. And again, it just goes back to Nebraska, the leaders that we build here, the way that we invest in our student athletes, that they're now elevating to these important roles like coaches.
Again, that was Deputy AD and Senior Woman Administrator Kristen Brown as a part of our Husker Women's Wednesday podcast, which is powered by Emeritus. Emeritus is proud to power Husker Women's Wednesday and all of Husker Women's sports. We got to step aside for a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Game-changing technology is just a phone call away. When your office technology isn't playing nice and you need expert help, give Hamilton Business Technologies a shout. We are the official business IT partner of the Huskers, and we are your partner for IT support. From on-site or remote managed IT services to business phone systems and proactive cybersecurity solutions, Nebraska businesses trust us when they need expert help. When your technology playbook needs a rewrite, think of Hamilton Business Technologies and visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
O'Reilly.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn. And other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Defend your network like a champ with Hamilton Business Technologies. From end zones to endpoints, our cybersecurity solutions keep your business and your data protected from online threats. We offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. You keep doing what you do best, and we will protect the rest. Hamilton Business Technologies, the official business IT partner of the Huskers. Visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This year's Ag Day vs. Houston Christian is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. And High Street Insurance and Financial Services is a proud sponsor of this year's Ag Day. High Street earns the trust of agribusiness customers on farms, large and small, by providing coverage options that help protect what matters most. Visit hsip.com to find your local Nebraska insurance agent today. Welcome back. Final couple minutes here left of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly. Did have a text come in on the text line for you, Kyle, from John in Omaha. Said, greetings, Kyle and Jessica. Total transparency, I was going to reserve judgment on Kyle until I actually heard him do a game. Now I have heard him do 2 games, and to me, a good play-by-play announcer helps you actually see in your mind what's going on the field. And Kyle does an excellent job of that. Concise and exciting. I can see everything in my mind. I'm excited for his future as our Husker play-by-play announcer. Go Big Red. John in Omaha. That's nice.
Big thank you to John. That's really, really kind. I appreciate everybody who's had kind words, that's listened to the broadcasts, and what I've learned is a lot of people listen to what we do, Jess. So that's a good thing.
And I agree with you, John. Absolutely. He does a great job of painting the pictures. Okay, coming up next, we're going to have our pick segment with Jeremiah Searles. Josh Hockelman will join us, and so we'll update you there on how we are and where we stood last week. But did want to give a quick shout-out to the chat. Shane and Chad both went 9-1 last week. And Dryce and Shane are the chat leaders. So they play along every week, so it's fun. You can hop in. You can play week to week. But so did want to give a shout-out to the weekly winners and the standings for the chat participants. All right, coming up next, hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. Keep it here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America.
We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Swotek reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, a new exception was made today for the upcoming football game this Saturday against Houston Christian. Due to the higher temperatures expected for the weekend, fans will be allowed to bring one sealed bottle of water into Memorial Stadium. Additionally, as always, fans are allowed to bring in a personal empty water bottle to be filled inside the stadium at one of the water fountains. Pivoting to Husker men's basketball, tip-off time has been set for the matchup between Nebraska and BYU on Saturday, October 18th. The home game at Pinnacle Bank Arena is set to start with a noon tip-off. Game coverage will be on Big Ten Plus and right here on the HRN. And finally, some MLB scores from across the country. The Pittsburgh Pirates sailed on over to Baltimore to face off against the Orioles, but the Orioles used their home field advantage for the close victory 3-2 final earlier today. And some current games going on. The Miami Marlins are hosting the Washington Nationals. Earlier, it was 2-0 Miami at the top of the second. It's the top of the sixth now. No runs since then, still 2-0 Miami. And the first pitch of the Detroit versus New York game finally started, and there's some big scoring going on. At the bottom of the third, and the Yankees have the lead over the Tigers 3-1. The Sports Ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Ball at the Akron 47, right to left in a scoreless game. Raiola under center, single back as Johnson takes a snap, turn right hand off, Johnson up the middle, burst to the second level. There he goes, 35-30, near left numbers 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in, touchdown, Huskers, 47 yards. Third down and 9 at the 3-yard line. Akron in the shadows of their own goal line. Full house pistol. Finley claps for the snap, takes, hand off, and that's a safety. Jordan Gadd is swung down by Cade Petshaw. Indeed, welcome to college football, young man. Gets the safety, 9-0 Huskers.
There's Laney, here come Huskers. Quick attack, Mania Obeche. She's putting on a clinic. It's Mania Obeche, Friday night at the Devaney, 23-14.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly on this Thursday evening. Our final hour of the week is Husker Volleyball. Will be on the air here on the Huskers Radio Network tomorrow night, and we are inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by
Akrs,
Midwest Premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more.
Akrs,
solutions for every
I don't like this
field.
I don't like this relationship you two have. I'm not in on it. I don't like it.
You're a rookie, man. Rookies got to earn their stripes. You'll catch on eventually. You'll
Aker.
Aker. I did it one time last year when I was doing this with Greg and them, and it's just kind of stuck.
Yeah, and
I love Akrs. They got solutions for every field.
Yes, they do. And the guys in the chat love it. Well, he's the big dog, Jeremiah Searles, and he is back to make some picks again here this week. But before we get into this week's picks, let's recap last week, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so how about the interns? Look, the goal going in as a group, guys, was to not let the interns get ahead of us like they did last year. And they did it again, 10-1, and it was Chris that was picking for the interns, so they're the weekly winner. So interns.
I don't know. That might be the best record anyone's ever had since I've done this show.
Yeah. There was an undefeated last year. There was an undefeated.
Was there?
Yeah, there was one undefeated last year.
My goodness, that's crazy.
Camden goes 9-2. I was 8-3. Kyle went 7-4. Searles and Nick both went 6-5.
You can just stop right there. It's fine.
Josh, instead of starting from the bottom, now we're here. Started at the top, now we're here. I mean, he was. You went from first to
worst.
Worst. Okay, so the overall standings, Camden is in the lead, 18-9 overall. The interns, Kyle and myself, were 16-11. Searles is 15-12, and Nick and Josh at the bottom, 14-13.
Boston College screwed me. I thought, Boston College had that game won so many times and just was not able to put that game away. I was like, come on, Golden Domers, figure it out.
Okay, well, let's start with Iowa State and Iowa, 16-13, but Iowa State holds on to beat the Hawkeyes. How about that one, Searles?
I mean, that game's the same way it is with the Iowa Husker game. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. Throw out the records, throw out whatever you need to do. Like those rivalry games always come down to a field goal possession, seem to be at the end. But I'll tell you this, just like we talked about last week, it's panic time in Iowa City with Mark Gronowski. That is horrible. And I've loved all the stuff I've seen online where like Latif's throwing for more in a quarter than Mark Gronowski has in 8. So yeah, not good in Iowa City right now at the quarterback position.
Josh, you were the only one that got that one wrong, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I went upstream, and I honestly, even when they were down 10, I was like, you know what? This is the kind of game that Iowa wins. They looked terrible, then they scored, and then they tied it up, and I was like, this is it. I'm going to pick up a point, but
Nope, not quite. Well, Oklahoma beats Michigan, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know how good Michigan is right now. Freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood, I'm sure he'll be more improved by the time he comes here to Lincoln, but I think they have a lot of things to figure out. I think I picked Michigan too because I wanted to see 2 unbeaten teams. I downplayed the impact of John Mateer and him being at Oklahoma, veteran quarterback. He's the real deal. Like he'll have Oklahoma steered in the right direction.
And South Florida, we all went down on this one. South Florida beats Florida. Kyle, we're looking at you, Kyle.
This is the T. Right
Kyle.
It's tough. It's not what you want if you're rooting for the orange and blue. Look, they got a lot of things. They had a lot of penalties the other night. A lot of penalties, a lot of missed opportunities. I didn't get to watch the game because I was calling a game. But it seemed like a game they probably could have won by multiple possessions. Credit Alex Golish now. If they go in, it's on our picks. They go in and beat Miami. They're gonna be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Florida.
100%.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the way that their schedule's shaping out, if they can get through this one, they'll steamroll everyone.
I don't think they'll beat Miami. I don't want to hint to my pick, but if they do, they are a legitimate college football playoff team.
Spoiler alert: South Florida's on the picks again this week. I'll tell you a team I'm glad is not. Is UCLA. They burned me twice now. And Searles, you even said it. UNLV is a bad football team, and UCLA could not beat them.
I mean, that was one of those things where it's like UCLA was asleep at the wheel for 3 quarters, and then they get to the 4th quarter and they're like, boys, we're going to lose this game. And then they all of a sudden turned it on and they went right down the field. But they have got some discipline issues. They have got some effort issues when you watch the tape. You don't got guys hustling. You've got guys going the wrong way. That team is a bit of a disaster right now, and they've got to get it fixed pretty quick because starting 0-2 is not how you want to go.
All right, and then the Husker question was, will Dylan Raiola throw for an odd number or even number of touchdowns? And Kyle and I got it right. Kyle nailed the number 4. 4 touchdowns. I actually said 2, but I still get that was not part of the question.
You should not get
but
a
I
point.
still got the point.
You get the point.
So we both picked up a couple points.
I should get a point and a half.
You should get an extra point. Yeah, maybe. Well,
not making up rules as we go.
We needed to say it. We needed to say it going in. I almost said it last week.
What is this kangaroo court? No, thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get to this week's picks, and starting off with a Friday night game, Fox Friday night, and I thought this was the toughest one. Kansas State at Arizona, 8 p.m. on Fox. Kansas State's going in a 1.5 favorite coming off the loss to Army. Camden would have been the first picker, but he's not here. So, Kyle, we're going to start with you in this one.
Pretty shocking that Army was coming off a loss to Tarleton State, and they came back on the road. They beat Kansas State, but give me the Wildcats. Rawr, on the road.
No, that was not it.
Which one? They're both Wildcats.
Kansas
Which
State.
one?
No, because I get a point regardless.
Yeah, give me the Cats.
Wow, that was next level thinking.
The purple Wildcats. That's what I call them.
There you go.
Kansas State purple Wildcats.
I mean, this one, both these teams are bad. I mean, both these teams are not very good. I'm going to go Arizona. Kansas State, I think that they're reeling a little bit. So give me the white. Give me those Cats.
That's how you do it, Kyle.
Yeah,
come on, you got to
he
put
was
your
clearing
belly
his throat.
into it.
That was actually disturbing.
That's how it sounds in stadium.
Yeah,
though.
it sounds disturbing in stadium. I think it's risky to take Kansas State, but I'm kind of with you guys or with you Searles. Like, they're both bad teams, so yeah, I'll go Kansas State. Why not?
I'll give K-State a little bit of credit on the Army loss, just because Army does that every single year. They beat a team there because it's a hard team to defend and to figure out. And once they get doing what they're doing, it's you're kind of SOL at that point. But I don't know. This one was the toughest one for me, as I said, but I do think K-State's reeling a little bit. Arizona at home. Kansas State beat them last year, so maybe Arizona has a little fire in the belly. So I'm going to go with Arizona here. So I'm with Searles. All right.
Come on.
Wisconsin at Alabama, 11 a.m. on ABC. Searles, you're up first. Bama is a 20.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bama here. You know, Wisconsin has not proven to me that they're a legitimate team. I think Bama is trying to get them back together. They're still licking their wounds from that opening week loss. Last week they beat up on a terrible team. So I think Alabama rolls.
Yeah, I thought for a second about picking Wisconsin just because they have such a tough schedule. This is maybe a gettable game with Alabama kind of reeling a little bit, but I'm not going against a 20.5-point spread that you mentioned there, Jess. That's a little bit too much. I'm going
We all went against a 17.5-point spread last week, and it didn't pay off. So it's not crazier things have happened. But
Vegas knows.
I'm not even going to debate on this one. I'm going Bama.
Roll Tide. I think they win big at home.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clemson at Georgia Tech. Clemson has not been great to start the season. 11 a.m. on ESPN. Clemson is just a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Josh, you're up first.
Yeah, I think Clemson maybe overlooked Troy a little bit last week. It was a way closer game than it probably should have been, but I don't think they're going to overlook this one. It's a rivalry game. So they're the more talented team. Give me the Tigers.
I always pick Clemson, so I don't know. They'll probably screw me over again this week, but I'll go with Clemson.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Please.
Excited.
Georgia Tech is one of those teams that's interesting. They always seem to put together a pretty good performance. I think it's a good team. They almost beat Georgia last year, but give me Clemson on the road. Cade Klubnik is the difference.
Searles, now it's your turn.
It's my turn. Can I go?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think Klubnik's a fantastic talent. I think, coming off the week one and then coming into week two, this is kind of the reset for everything, right? Hey, we had the close game. We found a way to win. Let's go beat Clemson football. I think Clemson rolls.
All right, the big one in Knoxville, number 6 Georgia at number 15 Tennessee, 2:30 on ABC. Georgia is a 3.5-point favorite, but give me the home team. Give me the Volunteers. I do not know why. I just think maybe Tennessee can get it done. It's been a while. I think they can get in the win column in this one at home.
Is my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
I'm
looking at you, Kyle.
Yes.
I screwed everything up.
I'm not a believer in the quarterback for Tennessee. You don't make money betting against Georgia. Give me the Dogs on the road.
Searles?
Yeah, I agree. I think Rocky Top's going to be crazy. It's going to be an atmosphere that's wild. But if they can weather the initial storm of the energy in that stadium, they should be able to roll with a physicality standpoint on their defense. So I'm going to go Georgia.
Yeah, I also think that Georgia's the better team. Don't love picking them in a game like this on the road in a tough environment, but I got to go with Georgia.
All right, Pittsburgh at West Virginia. Pitt coming in a 7.5 point favorite, 2:30 on ESPN. And what is the Backyard Brawl? Isn't that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm totally messed up now. Kyle, you're up now.
I could tell you something about these two teams back in like 2007. I can't tell you a whole lot about them in 2025. With that, give me the home team, West Virginia.
All right. Searles?
I'm gonna go Pitt. I might be swimming upstream a little bit here, but I think Pitt's got a really solid offensive line. They've got 2 guys on there that are NFL hopefuls. You know, all I do is watch offensive lines, so I think that they have the better of the two. So give me Pittsburgh.
Josh?
Well, Searles, you're watching the offensive line. I was watching a different line. Pittsburgh opened as a 2-point favorite, and now it's up to 7. So I feel like when something moves that much, there's a reason why. So I'm going with Pitt.
Well, I think it's because West Virginia lost 2 of their best skill position players on the offense for this one out for the season. So I'm going to go with Pitt as well. So, Kyle, you're swimming upstream with the Mountaineers.
Swimming.
All right, here it is. Number 18, South Florida at number 5, Miami, 3:30 on how about this? The CW network. Miami coming in a 17.5-point favorite. And Searles, you get to pick first in this one.
I got to take Miami. You know, it's one of those things where the Cinderella story at the beginning part of the year has been great, but Miami is a different beast. They've got unbelievable talent all over the field. Carson Beck has looked the Carson Beck that everyone thought he was going to be at Georgia over these first 2 weeks. So if he can continue those performances, he'll be just fine. Give me the Convicts, Miami.
Yeah, I have to go with Miami too. South Florida very well could pull another upset. They're a talented team, as we saw, but it's maybe a little bit too much this week.
I am rooting for South Florida, but I'm going to pick Miami. So
come on, pick with your heart.
Is this before or after a new episode of All American on CW? I am going to take Miami. Carson Beck, I think he's turned into a really good football player. Miami, they're really good at the line of scrimmage. They probably have one of the best offensive lines, Searles, in the country. I think they're too much for South Florida. But South Florida wins this game. They are a college football playoff team.
Wow.
So that's on the line for them.
Wow. All right. Florida at number 3, LSU.
Let's just go to the next one.
6:30 on ABC. LSU is an 8.5-point favorite going into this one. Josh, you're up first.
Yeah, you know what they say about night games in Death Valley, but even if this game wasn't a night game and it wasn't in Death Valley, I would still pick LSU. So I'm going Tigers.
Yeah, I said that, and it bit me in the booty at Death Valley at Clemson, and I'm not going against it this time. Give me LSU. Kyle, you gonna pick the Gators to bounce back?
I think
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Angel saying LSU.
Do it.
Devil, Florida. I'm going with DJ Langley to bounce back. Find a way to do it. Silence Napier silences the critics in Death Valley, going back to a state where he called home as the head coach of Louisiana. And the Gators win.
Wow, you're doing it.
Wow.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
I give you props.
I got too many people from my prior stop that are still watching and following me, so I can't.
That's good. That's a good pick with that heart of yours. Pick with that big Florida heart of yours, because LSU is going to come in there and maybe put the final nail in the coffin for Florida for this season. I think the LSU is going to come in with a hunger there. And I'll tell you this, I'm glad I'm not doing Big Blue reaction down there in Florida, because that would not
My
be
buddy
a fun
Steve
time
Russell
right
is,
now.
so he hosts that show in Gainesville.
I'm sure
Boy,
Steve's had a fun couple weeks.
It was electric this past week. So,
all right, Texas A&M at Notre Dame, 6:30 on NBC. Notre Dame is 6.5-point favorite going into this one. I'm up first, and I do not pick against Notre Dame. So I think they get it going coming off. They got extra time to prepare for this one. Texas A&M always seems to pull out a big one at some point, but I'm going with, as Searles likes to call them, the Golden Domers.
Golden Domers, I will go with them as well. I'm not sure what to make of Texas A&M, and that's on a kind of a yearly basis type thing, but I think Notre Dame's the better football team. They're at home. Give me Notre Dame.
Searles?
Yeah, I'm going to go Notre Dame too. You know, I remember the what Notre Dame did last year after they lost to Northern Illinois. They just went on a warpath.
Yeah.
And so I anticipate a little bit of that with the way Marcus Freeman coaches, being a former player, how he's going to get that team ready to go. You know, they got punched in the mouth. I will say this, if they don't give Jeremiah Love the ball 25 times like they should have the first time, they might lose, but they need to feed that horse they have at running back.
Josh?
Yeah, last year these two teams played in week 1 of the season. I picked Texas A&M in our pick segment. Got it wrong, obviously, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm also taking the Golden Domers.
Back to the SEC, and this one is a intriguing one as well. Vandy at South Carolina, 6:45 on the SEC network. The Gamecocks coming in a 3.5-point favorite, but this one could be interesting, Kyle.
I love me some Beamer ball.
Me too.
Big South Carolina guy, big Shane Beamer guy. I think he wins this one.
All right. Searles?
Yeah, Sellers is amazing. I can't remember whatever the receiver was. I was watching the game last week. I didn't have it on the sound, but number 8 is just like one of the largest human beings that plays receiver, where you just basically tell him just go and go catch the ball. They have unbelievable talent. I think they really want to make a push for a playoff team this year. That being said, if this was in Vandy, I would take Vandy. Just being honest. If this was in Tennessee, I would take Vandy. But because of the home crowd and how crazy South Carolina fans are, I mean, they were out there in the rain and the thunderstorms, whatever, I got to go with Beamer ball too.
I picked against Vanderbilt last week, and it bit me. And I'm going to do it again. So I can't pick against South Carolina. I've kind of latched on to them, and Lenore Sellers is so fun to watch. So I'm going South Carolina.
I do think Vandy's offense is a little bit better than South Carolina's, but I'm not doing it either. It's going to be a clean sweep for us here.
All right.
South Carolina. All right. Minnesota at Cal, 9:30 on ESPN, and Minnesota, a 1.5
Yeah,
favorite.
I could tell you what game's not going to be on my TV.
Yeah, I can tell you what game I'll fall asleep to is the Minnesota Gophers.
I'll be asleep.
I can tell you what game I'm not going to watch in my quad box. But continue.
You're up on this one.
I'm not rowing the boat here at all. I'm
Really?
going to take Cal.
Wow.
I'm shocked.
Big Ten teams that go out west at late at night. It's not great.
Except for
right?
Nebraska when they go to UCLA.
Except for Nebraska when we go to UCLA. But I'm just going to say, this is the type of environment where it's going to be boring. It's going to be late. Like, it's not going to be fun. And I think that Cal pulls it off.
Wow, I'm shocked. You hardly ever pick against Minnesota.
I know. I can't. I can't do the row the boat right now.
Josh?
I am rowing the boat.
Oh.
I know that this is, it's tough to go out late night game, but I don't know. PJ Fleck will have those boys ready. So.
Listen, I know nothing about Cal. Absolutely nothing. I've not watched them play a single snap of football. And I thought I was going to go into this one and be the only one that picked this, and then Searles took my thunder, but I'm going to go with Cal. I'm going to go with the home team.
I'm going to go with the Fleckinator.
Okay.
Give me PJ Fleck. Give me Minnesota on the road. Again, I can't tell you a whole lot about Cal right now, but I know a little bit about Minnesota. I think they're the better football team.
I mean, that team they scheduled last week, it was borderline unsafe for those players to be on the field with the Power 4 team. Like, those dudes were like, I'm missing biology, right? Like, that was not okay what happened with that team last week.
Okay, what's our Husker question, Josh?
All right, going a little bit outside the box with this one. Pick the position group that scores the first points of the game for Nebraska. So we have 4 options: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then defense/special teams. So you got to pick from those 4 categories. Obviously, with quarterback, it has to be a rushing touchdown. But
All right.
I think it's my turn, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's your turn.
So, I picked wide receiver, tight end. I think that, with it, last week it was a rushing touchdown with Emmett. That was a big strike. I think they'll get a passing touchdown to start things out this week.
That's an interesting one.
It's a great
I think
question.
I'll stick
Good job,
with the
Josh.
running backs. I'll go with the running backs.
We should have to give a player for an extra point. What do you think?
Emmett.
If we get the actual
I'm down.
player,
I'm super down for an
but
extra point for a player.
it can't be Emmett Johnson.
Oh, come on.
Or Ja'Cory Barney.
Well, no.
No,
okay.
then we're
good.
not doing that. We're not doing that.
Next.
Running backs.
Don't you ring the
Emmett
bell at me. No, do whatever you'd like. But I think we can get an extra point if you pick the right player.
Okay, running back, Emmett Johnson. Kyle.
And I'll say Barney then. That's
Okay, I'm going to go a little outside the box because I play the game, all right? Wide receiver, tight end, Cortez Mills.
All right.
I'll take
like
that.
it.
I'm gonna
take
go.
Cortez.
I'm gonna go running back, Emmett Johnson.
Oh, you know what? You two are the worst. You two are the absolute worst.
Listen, I'm here to win, Kyle. I'm not here to play the game. I'm here to win.
I'm here to win
we
and
got
entertain.
The interns going 10-1. We got to do something. Here.
Yeah, we got to.
We got to get Camden's
Gotta
player
keep
then,
going.
right?
we will. I'll get it
his
from the other
player.
ones. Everybody else got their picks in. Camden, Nick, the intern. So.
All right, well, good stuff. Again, those are our Big Ten/college football picks, which is brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. And again, Searle's going to be back here for Big Red Reaction. He's also going to be picking out the Hy-Vee tailgater of the game, which he can be bribed. So
yes, I'll be out there bright and early. Bright and early, we'll be looking there. Like I said, I want to see the diehards. I want to see the people that didn't go to sleep from the night before, right? Stumbled from the bar into the parking lot. That's what I will be looking for.
All right, good stuff. We'll look forward to hearing from you on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait. Me and Coatney back at it.
All right, we got to step aside for a break. When we come back, it's time for the Big Ten Blitz. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at Woodhouse. We carry a wide selection of trusted brands across more than 20 locations, offering everything from efficient daily drivers to bold new EVs and family-ready SUVs. At Woodhouse, we put your experience first, offering expert guidance and a trusted team that's guaranteed to help you find the right vehicle. Visit a location near you or start shopping online at woodhouse.com. More ways to drive, more reasons to trust. This is Woodhouse.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Ogallala.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Welcome back inside the Akrs Broadcast Center. I'm Camden Cohn, and this is the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Big Ten Blitz.
Here to talk about the Boilermakers is Mike Carmen from the Greater Lafayette Sports Report. Well, Mike, Purdue is 2-0 for the first time since 2021 after a 34-17 win over Southern Illinois last week. What were you able to take away from the Boilermakers' second win of the season?
Well, they were able to effectively run the ball in the second half to close out the game. It was back and forth early. Each team scored 14 points right out of the gate, but then Purdue was able to settle in and kind of assert itself on the offensive line, and Devin Mockabee carried over 30 times, which is a career high, and put up 130 or so yards, and they were able to close the game out, and that's what an FBS program should do to an FCS program. But stepping up in class this week with USC coming to town, and they're going to have to figure out a way to move the ball effectively, but also slow down a really potent offense with USC and the numbers that they've put up in the first 2 games.
Running back Devin Mockabee has been a staple of this Purdue offense for a while now. How important is he for the team's success?
Well, he is the guy. As you look at the running game and stuff, and he can be effective in the passing game, but he is their main offensive weapon right now. But they're going to have to, as they get deeper in the Big Ten season, they're going to have to become more balanced. And Ryan Brown, the quarterback, has spread the ball around pretty well to his receivers, but it just can't be Mockabee. If they get in a situation again like they did last week, where in the second half and you got a chance to close out a game, he's going to be the guy that gets it done. But early on, they've got to spread it around. But he's an integral part of everything they do offensively.
How has quarterback Ryan Brown performed over the first handful of games?
He's been solid. He had a pick last week, ball that was underthrown over the middle. But for the most part, he's been pretty good. Good completions percentage in game 1 against Ball State. Made some nice throws again last week against Southern Illinois. He rushed for about 30 or so yards on the ground. So he is a dual threat. He gives them a running option and also a scrambling option when things break down. But again, these first 2 games allowed them to get their feet under them, but now USC and then Notre Dame, and the list goes on as far as how effective you have to be in those Big Ten games.
Well, this week, Purdue hosts a talented USC team that is coming off of a 59-20 win over Georgia Southern. How do you see this game playing out?
Well, again, Purdue can't fall behind. It's not I don't look at it as a measuring stick game for Purdue because they're just trying to get a foundation set. USC is going to try to come here and, put up points early, get on top of Purdue, a road game and, probably a bit of a hostile environment for them. Purdue's going to have to force some turnovers. They haven't forced a turnover yet. They're going to have to protect the ball. They've been penalty free. They've had some penalties, but nothing outrageous. A perfect game, pretty close. They have to, they've got a small margin for error for every game they play. But, USC's just got probably too much talent across the board. And, Purdue's had 54 transfers this year. We're not really sure who they are yet because there's just so many newcomers on the team. So, I think they'll play hard. They're better coached. They're all those things this year compared to last year, but it's going to be an uphill climb for them to knock off USC.
USC and Purdue will kick off on Saturday at 2:30 on CBS. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thank you.
Now let's send it over to Bella Pitts with Minnesota.
Thanks, Camden. Here to talk about the Golden Gophers is Andy Greeter with the St. Paul Pioneer Press. I see that Minnesota got a 66-point win over Northwestern State last weekend. What would you say the Gophers did really well last game?
Oh, man, it's more of what they didn't do well. You know, the FCS opponent from Louisiana was completely overmatched in the game. The Gophers, probably the biggest piece of improvement for them was they were able to force takeaways. They had 0 in their 23-10 win over Buffalo, and they had 4 in this game. So just some really quality ability to take away the ball from the opponent. That was something that they emphasized and something they were able to do against Northwestern State.
What players would you say we should watch for this week?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Darius Taylor plays. Looked like he pulled a hamstring in the first quarter against Northwestern State. He's their number 1 running back. So his status is pretty up in the air to whether he's going to play or not. If he can't go, it'll probably be a running back by committee look. So, you know, it's one of those things where you want your players healthy for most of the season, but the Gophers have a bye week after Cal. So I'd imagine that they probably rest Darius and give him an opportunity to get healthy for the Big Ten season starting the following week.
The California Golden Bears are also 2-0. How do you see this game unfolding this week?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They've got a true freshman quarterback who's been very dangerous in his first couple of games. The Gophers haven't faced somebody of his quality, so finding a way to control him will be paramount for them to come away with a win going to California.
Minnesota and Cal with kickoff at 9:30 Central on ESPN. This has been the Big Ten Blitz presented by Groundworks. Thanks to Canman Cohn for helping and to Mike Carmen and Andy Greeter for joining us. More Sports Nightly after this.
Take a minute and salute America's farmers. They're the humble heroes who work in acres, not hours, rising before dawn and battling extreme heat and bitter cold. The men and women who tackle the toughest jobs to put clothes on our backs and food on our tables. They might do it quietly, but their genuine values and tireless work ethic are an inspiration to us all. Today and every day, we invite you to join Nebraska Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Financial Services in saying thank you to America's farmers.
At Woodhouse, we're with you every step of the way. With more than 20 locations and brands, you'll find options that fit your lifestyle. Whether you're looking for your first car, your next SUV, or something built to tow and haul. Enjoy straightforward pricing, helpful guidance, and a dealer experience built around you. Visit one of our convenient locations today or explore your options online at woodhouse.com. Serving our customers for 50 years, this is Woodhouse.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Natalie Kerr in Lincoln, Michael Reeves in Omaha, or Julie Null in Plattsmouth.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
1 year, zero interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back. Final couple segments here left on this Thursday evening. Our final hour, our final show of the week is Husker Volleyball going to be on the air coming up tomorrow night. And with Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. Also, you got your first big emceeing duties here.
Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. So I'll be there Friday night, have the opportunity to usher in a new class into the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. Keith Mann's done a great job getting me the script for all that, and something Greg had done for many years and done very well. So excited to see everybody and just get a better understanding of the history of it. Tom Welter, who I did an interview, I think it was probably the second or third interview I had done here. He's one of the Huskers going into this class. So excited to see everybody out there, from administration to former great Huskers, and be a cool event.
Please join Saturday's Ag Day game sponsors, Nebraska Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Financial Services, in saluting America's farmers for tackling the toughest jobs to put clothes on our backs and food on our tables. Thank you, farmers. It's Ag Day on Saturday. A lot of cool things surrounding that, and so I know we've got a lot of our partners, great partners, are involved in agriculture as well. So it's Ag Day coming up on Saturday.
Excited about it, learning more and more about some of the things about Nebraska. So it's going to be an early morning, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So Damon and Ben are going to be in here at 7 a.m. I don't know if they're going to be rolling up as the opening billboards hit for the show. I don't know. It's super early. I mean, they've done a lot of early
I know
pregame
I won't
shows.
be. I will not be.
You won't be here at 7 a.m.? You'll be over at Cornhusker Kickoff.
Well, the thing about the Cornhusker Kickoff, which it is going to happen again this week for those listening in, and they are going to have a band every week. I'm not sure if the band won't be as big as Maddie and Tay every week, but it's still going to be a really cool atmosphere. But with the 11 a.m. games, instead of 4 hours before kickoff, it's 3.
Okay.
So that pushes back my duties a little bit.
Okay, so
And I've signed up Sunny to go to daycare on Saturday. So
you sent me something yesterday, right? I'm losing track of time.
I know.
It was yesterday.
The last couple of days have been bonkers.
So this is the second time that Sunny has been classified as socially selective.
She was
She's
socially
a loner.
selective again yesterday at
She's a
daycare.
loner. She doesn't just like anybody, at least dogs. She loves humans.
She likes people, but she likes the water hose. So
A water hose.
yeah. So she
Okay.
likes chasing the water hose. But in terms of dogs, there's only like 2 that she really played with.
Now-
It was kind of funny because they know us now, and they know kind of how Sunny is. And so when I went to pick her up, they're like, she actually played a little bit today. So it's
So
like a
she's getting
huge
there.
step that she actually played with at least one dog yesterday.
When am I going to meet Sunny? Like, can we have Sunny come up here? There's plenty of room.
I know we need to. I've been afraid to bring her up to the new facility.
Is
you know?
Sunny a dog that's going to run around here or be super docile, like sleepy? What kind of dog is Sunny if you were to bring her here?
It depends on how what she's done throughout the day.
Okay.
She likes to play fetch at the old studio, it was really long. And so a lot of times the interns would throw the ball and she'd just go run and chase it.
Yeah, there's a lot of expensive equipment in here, so I don't know if fetch is the greatest thing.
There's not as much room in this one. So she loves going to try to chase the squirrels on campus, though.
Okay.
Yeah. And every kind of varmint is a bunny. Whether it's an actual bunny or a squirrel, it's all like she knows, like, oh, I'll say there's a bunny, and boy, she chases it, so.
Well, I'm excited I think Sunny's got to make an appearance here on Sports Nightly at some point.
I mean, I think she's a star, so I'm happy to bring her up. So, Calcium Products is a proud partner of this year's Ag Day versus Houston Christian. At Calcium Products, we help customers maximize soil fertility to achieve higher crop yields by offering the highest quality calcium-based fertilizers on the market. Learn more at calciumproducts.com and go Huskers. It's going to be a hot one.
Hot,
Hot.
as that one song once said.
I'm going to have to figure out what wardrobe to stay as cool as possible and try to not get sunburnt on Saturday.
Well, you got to have the suntan lotion.
Suntan lotion?
Or the sunblock, suntan lotion.
I'm definitely going to throw some oil.
Yeah. you can,
some tanning oil.
You can lay out on the sideline and say, Coach Rule, hold on a second. I'm just finishing up before the interview. Suntan lotion.
Sunscreen.
Hey, get one of those like the reflection things like this as you're standing on the sideline. What do you think?
Like a huge floppy hat, like I'm at the pool,
Yeah, and you can when I send it down, you can just ignore me. If I send it down, you just say I'm having a beach vacation down here,
Maybe,
but it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be in the 90s. I think this will probably be the last week that it's gonna be hot, right?
I don't know. I mean, I told you before, I was giving you a hard time on the broadcast because you said, you tossed it down to me like, it's a beautiful fall night, and I'm like, this is not fall.
No, it felt fall-ish.
It was a little crisp, but it was by no means what I would consider fall.
I think we just had 2 or 3 weeks where it was really hot here in Nebraska, so it just felt closer to what the expectation is for fall.
Better get ready, because if you thought that was chilly,
stop trying to scare me.
If you thought that was chilly, you're gonna have to toughen up. But no, it's definitely gonna be complete 180 from what it was a week ago, because it is going to be warm. I told you, though, there are times in late October I'll get a sunburn. So you just never know, I feel like, the weather here.
I think you're going to get a sunburn on Saturday.
I'll make sure to pack my suntan lotion.
Suntan lotion, SPF 50, and get ready to go for the game. I might even put some sunblock on up in the booth. I might have the lotion on my nose getting ready to go.
Just the white.
The white strip.
Yeah, you should. That'd be a great fashion statement. All right, we're going to step aside for a break. We're back to wrap up the show next.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Nebraska Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Financial Services would like to take a minute and salute America's farmers. They're the humble heroes who work in acres, not hours, rising before dawn and battling extreme heat and bitter cold. The men and women who tackle the toughest jobs to put clothes on our backs and food on our tables. They might do it quietly, but their genuine values and tireless work ethic are an inspiration to us all. Today and every day, we invite you to join Nebraska Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Financial Services in saying thank you to America's farmers.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
CVA is a proud partner of this year's Ag Day vs. Houston Christian. Receive 1 year, 0% financing on seed and crop protection with qualifying purchase when you enroll in Central Valley Ag's Go Early Seed program. This week, first 10 growers to enroll receive 100 units of free CVA Elite Soybean Seed Treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Welcome back. Final few minutes left here of Sports Nightly on this Thursday evening, final show of the week, because we will hand things over to John Baylor and Lauren Cook West coming up tomorrow night. And we were talking about it in the previous segment, not suntan lotion, but it is going to be very, very hot on Saturday. And the athletics department announced today, as we talked about in the first hour, but a reminder in case some of you folks tuning in a little bit later, that you can bring a sealed water bottle into the game on Saturday. And as always, water bottles you can bring them anytime and fill them up. There's lots of filling up stations there. Yeah, so you're also the policy still allows for a personal empty water bottle, but a sealed water bottle you're allowed to bring into Memorial Stadium to curb. Obviously, it's going to be incredibly, incredibly hot. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Well done by the administration to make sure fans are equipped to stay hydrated. There's medical personnel on site for all home games. If you become overwhelmed by the heat, you can reach out to the nearest stadium official or event staff member for assistance. So great job, again, looking ahead and making sure the fans are taken care of. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. All right, final segment before we'll be talking on Saturday for Husker football. What are you looking for in this final non-conference matchup? Yeah, I just want to see something similar to what we saw last week, and that's a team that on paper is much better than your opponent. Matt Rule always uses that ideology of nameless, faceless opponent. I want to see more of that. I want to see the same from Dylan, from Emmett, I want to see a guy like Cortez Mills, Keelan Smith. Can they find a way to have a bigger role in this game? And defensively, can you continue to get some of the younger guys to roll through? Can we continue to see the dominance from the secondary? Special teams, is that going to continue to be a clean operation? So I had a chance to chat with Addison Williams, who his group is playing lights out here to start the season with the secondary. And he also mentioned another thing. They want to get some more takeaways. They want to, especially on the interception front, they want to get some of those. So I will be looking out for that as well to see if this team can get some momentum in the takeaway front moving into Big Ten play. I'll say that the cornerbacks have done an incredible job in coverage. Donovan Jones this week earning a black shirt. Andrew Marshall's been great as advertised. Sierra Wright, I mean, they haven't really been throwing the ball in his direction. Some of the other guys, I know Amari Sanders was banged up last week. Jeremiah Charles, can he get some run? Kamir Prescott. There's a lot of different guys that I'm interested to see if they get the opportunity at that corner position, specifically if they can make an impact. Again, Dylan Raiola, quarterback, QB1, is going to be our Cornhusker conversation, so lots of fun stuff. And it all gets started 7 a.m. You bringing the coffee and donuts? I think that was Damon's job. We'll see if he does it. All right, so we'll talk to you bright and early Saturday morning, and enjoy volleyball tomorrow night here on the Huskers Radio Network. Have a great weekend, Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong, Husker Nation.